Camino. The show by Mamoy League. Future moves puts it up. Unbelievable.
Gemma on the left side.
Oh, pass! Stuck in another one.
Bakunas rejecting Esteban for the
Okay, New York fans, rejoice as the Knicks are just now one win away from their first Eastern Conference Finals appearance in 25 years. Yes, the Knickerbockers now up 3-1 in their series against the defending champions, the Boston Celtics, after taking Game 4, 121-113. And once again, New York erasing a double-digit deficit in the third quarter and leaned on the clutch play of Mr. Clutch, Jalen Brunson down the stretch. Brunson finishing with 39 here to go along with his 12 assists in front of an ecstatic home crowd. Cal Bridges scattered 23 markers, including timely mid-range jumpers in the payoff period. Oh man, if you're a Boston Celtics fan, that is not the sight you want to see. Jayson Tatum had a game-high 42 buckets for Boston in a losing effort, but he had to leave the game, unfortunately, in the fourth after injuring his right leg while going for a loose ball. The C's can still try to extend their title defense as the series now returns to Massachusetts for Game 5. Tip-off will be this Thursday, 7 a.m. Philippine time. Now here's JB. Jalen Brunson after the match talking about their winning effort and their chance to close things out on the road.
Jalen, I'm going to get to your guys, OG, Cat, Mikhail, their performances, but I got to start with you. Just what changed with you when you came out of that locker room at halftime?
I don't know. Just found a way to make plays and get us going, and we just got one more.
Could you feel yourself taking over the game?
No, I was just in the flow. I was just do whatever it took. I wasn't really thinking, trying to take over. I was just whatever we got to do.
Now your guys, Kat, OG, especially Mikhail, can you describe the impact that they had?
I mean, they played phenomenal. Didn't quit, kept fighting, and that's what's most important. Whenever you get in the hole, you can't quit, and we showed that.
Up 3-1 with a chance to close it out in Boston. How do you get that done?
Got to focus. Focus. It's going to be a great place to play, great environment. You got to focus. That's a great team over there.
Congrats on the win.
Boston head coach Joe Mazzulla says Jayson Tatum will get an MRI test on his injury Tuesday in the U.S. There is speculation that the injury has something to do with his right Achilles tendon, but as of now, nothing has been fully confirmed. If it is an Achilles injury, this could also affect JT's availability for next season. Tatum was having one of the best playoff performances of his career as the Celtics battled the Knicks in Game 4 at the Big Apple. As earlier mentioned, the 27-year-old forward already had 42 points on 16 of 28 shooting, including 7 of 16 from deep, before exiting the contest. The injury took place near the 3-minute mark of the final quarter when Tatum pushed off his right leg to chase a loose ball. But instead of recovering the possession, Boston's main man came crashing down to the floor, holding on to his right ankle. Tatum was unable to put weight on his right foot. He exited the floor while being assisted by 2 members of the team staff. He then used a wheelchair to get to the dugout.
Prayers up for JT. Moving on to the Western Conference Finals, the Minnesota Timberwolves also secure their own 3-1 series edge after holding off the Golden State Warriors in San Francisco. The first half was a close fight, with the Dubs taking a 2-point lead at the break. In the third quarter, the Wolves made their move, going on a decisive 17-0 run, including 11 points from Anthony Edwards. The Dubs fought back in the final frame, outscoring the Wolves 33-20. But it wasn't enough, as Minnesota was able to hold on for a 117-110 victory. Ant-Man finished with 30 markers. Julius Randle, meanwhile, led the way for Mini with a game-high 31 points. Jonathan Kuminga led Golden State with 23 points off the bench in a losing cause. The Dubs are still without Steph Curry as he continues to deal with that strained left hamstring. The Wolves can now clinch the series on their home floor in Game 5 this Thursday when it goes back to Minneapolis at 9:30 a.m. Philippine time. Here's Julius Randle reflecting on his much-needed 31-point outing.
Super important. I always think, for us as a team, when we get off the good starts, it kind of sets the tone for us as a team for the game. So I always try to come out with the mindset of just being aggressive early, whether that's, me scoring or getting my teammates involved. That's just really my mindset. I know how important it is for our team. I've been through a lot. I had a great mentor in Kobe, that didn't necessarily let me pout or get down on myself. His thing was always, all right, what's next? How can you get better? How can you improve? So I always just kind of took that mentality with me. Growing up, my mom raised me to be a hard worker and not feel sorry for myself. So, I just think it's in my DNA and it's just a part of who I am. I look forward to challenges, adversity, all that different type of stuff. It's room for growth.
The Warriors have been trying several different rotations against the Timberwolves to compensate for the absence of Steph Curry. In Game 4, Golden State head coach Steve Kerr deployed a big lineup in response to the third-quarter barrage unleashed by the Wolves. Kerr later admitted that his tactic did not work as Minnesota continued to pile up the points. He mentioned that these are the kind of challenges they have to face without the presence of their best player. Facing the possibility of elimination in Game 5, the four-time champion tactician also mentioned that his team needs to push the pace and get easy buckets in transition.
Ant got going, and we decided to go to a bigger lineup with JK and Trace, Draymond, Jimmy, just to try to slow them down and slow Ant down. And obviously didn't work. They kept scoring, and we couldn't score. So we just lost our ability to connect the game there in that third quarter, and they got loose, and that was the difference in the game. The fact that we're playing some lineups that don't have a ton of spacing by necessity to be able to guard and to be able to hang defensively. There's just not going to be as many openings, and we know that. So we do feel like if we can push the tempo, force some turnovers, we can get some open looks in transition. But without Steph, the game changes, and we have to adapt accordingly, and we're probably not going to take as many threes.
After a roller coaster season, the Dallas Mavericks finally have a reason to celebrate.
That's right, Jack. Well, Mavs fans, the Mavs going through that Luka Doncic, Anthony Davis drama, that trade that happened in February. Several key guys, including Kyrie Irving, going down into injuries throughout their playoff campaign. And now they have the #1 pick in the 2025 NBA draft. Considering their low chances, Dallas literally defied the odds on this one, coming in with just 1.8% chance to win the top pick. And before this, the Mavs have never won the draft lottery. With this year's #1 pick, the Mavs will now have the right to draft that man right there, Duke superstar Cooper Flagg. The guard forward led Duke to the Final Four in his lone college season, averaging 19 points, 7.5 rebounds, and 4 assists per game.
After the Mavs' back-to-back Rookie of the Year winners, the San Antonio Spurs will pick second, followed by the Philadelphia 76ers, Charlotte Hornets, and Utah Jazz. The Washington Wizards, New Orleans Pelicans, Brooklyn Nets, the Toronto Raptors, and the Houston Rockets round out the top 10 picks. This year's draft will be held for 2 days, with the first round happening on June 26, 8 a.m. Philippine time, and the second round the next day at the same time. Coming up, we turn our attention to the UAAP with a pair of Game 2s on tap tomorrow in the men's and women's volleyball finals. Find out what teams have to say ahead of their crucial matchups when Play-by-Play returns.
And we're back. Thank you for joining us here on Play-by-Play only on One News. It was a valiant stand for Alas Pilipinas in the 2025 ABC Men's Champions League in Japan. Alas, carrying the Signal's HD Spikers moniker, were booted out of the playoff contention after yielding to the Shanghai Bright Men's Volleyball Club in straight sets. Final score here, 25-12, 25-21, and 25-18 in favor of the Chinese squad. Alas had earlier lost to Japanese club Osaka Blution, also in straight sets. The Philippine team had to win the Chinese matchup to stay afloat in Pool B. Alas will continue its preparation for the upcoming 2025 FIVB Volleyball Men's World Championship, which will take place in Manila in September.
One of the UAAP's brightest new talents now training with the national team. Adamson's super rookie Shyena Nura has joined the training and conditioning program of the Alas Pilipinas women's volleyball team. In a photo posted by the Alas Pilipinas page, Nura was spotted training alongside fellow Alas invites Ea Laure, Vanny Gandler, Thea Gagate, Maddie Madayag, and Del Palomata. Also training with the team already are Julia Coronel, Mars Alba, Don Katindig, and Tia Andaya. Nura turned heads for her historic rookie season for the Adamson Lady Falcons. Alas women are preparing for a busy international calendar, starting with the AVC Challenge Cup for women in June.
Well, speaking of the UAAP, the Season 87 volleyball finals will resume tomorrow at the Mall of Asia Arena in Pasay City at 1 p.m. It's Game 2, the men's finals between the FEU Tamaraos and the NU Bulldogs. The Tams looking to complete the upset here against their 5-peat seeking opponents. Then at 5 in the afternoon, we have Game 2 of the women's finals between the NU Lady Bulldogs and the DLSU Lady Spikers. The Lady Bulldogs are also just one win away from their third title in 4 seasons. You can catch all the games live on One Sports Plus, the UAAP Varsity channel, and on the Pilipinas Live app.
Despite being on the brink of back-to-back UAAP titles, Bella Belen and the NU Lady Bulldogs remain laser-focused on Game 2. The Lady Bulldogs are coming off a convincing Game 1 victory against the DLSU Lady Spikers, winning in 4 sets, 25-17, 25-21, 13-25, and 25-17. Belen led the way for the Bulldogs with a triple-double of 19 points, 15 excellent digs, and 10 excellent receptions. NU is unbeaten against LaSalle this season at 3-0. Here's Belen after Game 1, looking ahead to what could be their last match.
Ako for me, hindi naman namin masyadong iniisip na talagang nanalo kami ngayong game. Kasi hindi pa naman po kailangan pa naman nanalo yung Game 2 para makuha namin yung championship. Siguro, kailangan namin pag-aralan pa yung game namin today kasi parang meron pa kaming pwedeng ma-improve pagdating sa Game 2. And ayun, hindi ko naman nakikita sa teammates ko na ma-overconfident kami pagdating ng Game 2 kasi parang hindi kami nakakampante sa anong ginagawa namin. Siguro ngayon, masaya kami kasi syempre po nanalo ng Game 1 pero tomorrow, balik na ulit kami sa training.
Unlike their women's team, the 5-peat-seeking NU Bulldogs hope to extend the men's finals against an FEU squad that's just one win away from making history. The Tams outlasted the defending champs in a thrilling 5-setter to take Game 1 of the finals, 22-25, 25-22, 13-25, 25-22, and 15-13. FEU hopes to win its first UAAP men's volleyball title since 2012 and halt NU's quest for a historic 5-peat. But even with the momentum on their side, FEU head coach Edison Orculio and the Tams know the job isn't done just yet. Meanwhile, Budsburin and the Bulldogs are still confident that they can regroup and force a deciding Game 3.
Baka hindi na kayo matulog, siguro lang kami gabi. Kami aglusin siguro. Baka hindi na kami maligo para yung swerte nasa katawan namin. Yung ganong kasing bagay, medyo hindi, isang step pa. Yung kalahati na nakapasok eh. So isa pa, bago namin naipasok yung katawan natin. So siguro, wala lang titigil siguro. Wala pa, hindi isa pa. So kung ano man mangyayari doon sa Wednesday, pinagkatrabaho ang maigyan.
Nandun pa rin naman yung pagkasa kasi nakita namin na kaya namin eh. Yung may mga lapses na kami nangyari live after na namin madominant yung set na yun. Nag-relax. Yun lang naging factor siguro na umangat yung sa momentum. Tuloy-tuloy sila. So, siguro namin yung namin sa sarili namin dapat. Nadominan namin dapat, dapat ganun rin yung nag-relax kami.
The UAAP will also recognize the top volleyball players of the season tomorrow. Find out who'll bring home the coveted individual awards when play-by-play returns only here on One News.
Welcome back. You're watching Play-by-Play on One News. 2 games on tap tomorrow in the PBA Philippine Cup. First up, the Terra Firma Jeep and the NLEX Road Warriors at 5 p.m. The Road Warriors look to maintain their hot streak and get their 5th straight win, while the Jeep hope to end their 5-game skid. Then at 7:30 p.m., it's the main game between defending all Filipino champs Meralco Bolts against the streaking Magnolia Hotshots. The Bolts are a game under 500 so far, while the Hotshots are still undefeated through 5 games. Tomorrow's doubleheader will take place at the Ninoy Aquino Stadium in Manila, but you can also catch the games live on PBA Rush, RPTV, and the Pilipinas Live app.
Yes, we have a new studio, but now it's time for me to head back to the big screen for our highlight reel. I miss this. And we got an all-NBA lineup for you tonight. Let's start with Game 4 of the Eastern Conference semifinals in New York. Stolen away by JT. Prayers up for you, but before that, injury, got stealed and going all the way for the flush. Jalen Brunson tried to catch up to JT to no avail. That was a good offense moment for Jayson Tatum. Again, prayers going out to him. Hopefully nothing serious for JT. Tatum finishing with a game-high 42 points. But again, unfortunately, he got injured late in the 4th. Well, get well, man. Parang naman mag-close kami, no? Prayers up for you, JT. More from the Celtics this time. It's a 6'2 guard, Peyton Pritchard, just bulldozing his way. Take a look. Against Big Cat. But there's Kristaps Porzingis cleaning up the mess. Peyton Pritchard tried to go for the reverse, and KP cleaning up Peyton Pritchard's miss here. Nothing that Mitchell Robinson can do. He was kind of late. Good dive there by KP for the putback slam. Porzingis coming off the bench here to chip in. 7 points for Boston. One more play from this game, this time from the winning team. Okay, let's go to the clutch player of the year, Jalen Brunson. Whew. Off to Mitchell Robinson. Take a look at that connection from Brunson to Robinson. 2 screens, getting KP on the defense, and you see Mitchell Robinson diving to the hole there. Good play. Look at Horford getting stuck out, and woo! Wow, what a play there for Brunson, who had 39 points, 12 assists. Robinson, by the way, had 4 points in this one, and also 8 rebounds. The Knicks beat the Celtics now in Game 4, 121-113. They're up 3-1. Game 5 will take place back in Boston at TD Garden this Thursday at 7 a.m. Philippine time, where New York can close things out. Okay, from the East, let's go to the West. Game 4, Wolves Warriors in San Francisco. Anthony Edwards gets 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow, a lot of defenders, a lot of blue shirts. Ant-Man, 1, 2, 3 there, and then getting Draymond Green last using the left. Woo! To harm the contact, and that's what Anthony Edwards loves in traffic. Getting that one to go in, plus the foul. Anthony Edwards just putting on a show here in San Francisco. 30 points, 5 assists in this game. But we got more of Anthony Edwards in our last play. Roll it. Here he is. Time winding down the second. Take a look at the clock, too. Against 2 defenders for the 3. Against 2 elite defenders in Gary Payton II and Draymond Green, former Defensive Player of the Year. But no problem for Ant-Man, channeling his inner Steph Curry. And he said he learned a lot from Steph during the Paris Olympics. And take a look at that to beat the buzzer. Ant-Man nailing that 3. Boom. Golden State ahead 60-58 at that one, though. But the ending, well, the Wolves getting a 117-110 win, now to go up 3-1 in their Western Conference semifinal series. Many can close things out in Game 5 when it goes back to Minneapolis on Thursday, 9:30 a.m. Philippine time. Ant-Man and the Wolves just smelling their 2nd straight Western Conference Finals appearance here. Okay, check.
Thank you for the highlights.
Bago ka mag-twilight.
I know. And before we go, what happened, Vela? I know. 3 MVP awards, right? NU superstar Bella Belen is set to receive her 3rd Most Valuable Player award in the UAAP Women's Volleyball Tournament. Belen amassed 96.226 statistical points this season. She joins Alyssa Valdez and Eileen Ege as the only three-time MVPs in women's volleyball history. Belen will also take home the Best Outside Spiker Award along with LaSalle's Angel Canino. And to no one's surprise, Adamson's Shyena Nura will be named Rookie of the Year. The rest of the winners include LaSalle's Amy Provido and UP's Nina Itang as the best middle blockers, another lady spiker, Shivana Laput, as best opposite spiker, Lams Lamina of the Lady Bulldogs as best setter, and LaSalle's Laika De Leon as the best libero. The women's awarding will happen before Game 2 of the finals between NU and LaSalle. In the men's division, Ateneo's Kennedy Batas rises to the top. Batas will win his first MVP award after tallying 79.815 statistical points. Batas is likewise one of the best outside spikers alongside UST's JJ Macam, who will also take home the Rookie of the Year award. Best Middle Blocker awards will go to UST's Popoy Colinares and Adamson's Leo Cogimbal. Ateneo's Amil Pasino wins Best Opposite Spiker, while the Best Setter trophy goes to Daxiam Bao of UST. LaSalle's Menard Guerrero rounds out the list as Best Libero. The men's awarding will be done prior to Game 2 of the finals between NU and FEU.
Well, first of all, galing mo mag what happened,
Thank
Stella.
you so much.
Vampire. Ano? Third MVP.
3 MVP awards, right?
Dapat kabahan na si Jacob, si Taylor Lautner lookalike sa'yo. But congratulations as early as now to the to the winners, and also kung sino man yung nasa finals ngayon, sino magka-champion. Kasi as we talked about, it's gonna be an exciting UAP action for both the men's and the women's. And just tune in to that. Okay, that's all from us tonight. Yes, we have a new studio and we're back. Sports is back. You can catch us again tomorrow, 8:30 p.m. for a play-by-play of today's top sports stories.
Play-by-play is on One News, that's Signal TV Channel 8 on SD and Channel 250 on HD. We are also available on Signal Play and Pilipinas Live.
I'm Andre Felix.
And I'm Cheska Calao. Thank you for watching. Good night.